Greetings. This is going to be a all 12 signs reading starting from Capricorn, ending with Sagittarius. Check your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. If you don't know what that means, go to Google, type in free birth chart, fill out your birth information, get your signs. All right, I am going to do a collective reading. Perhaps after this, we'll see how I feel after, or tomorrow morning, because I have a lot of things channeled. But the first thing that I did want to say a little collective message in this all signs reading, and that was I might be saying it wrong, but the Gadsden flag, it's a yellow flag with like a snake on it. Apparently it's very controversial, can be seen as kind of racist and some other things, and to people who don't see it in that way, it is a flag of freedom and a flag of I will defend myself. In other words, if you step onto my property, if you go after me and mine, I'm coming after you. It's like, don't start no there won't be no so that is a very strong energy in the collective right now. It's like you're walking a fine line. Like, I see you eyeing my property, eyeing me. I see you sizing me up, checking me out, and that's fine, but know that I have eyes on you as well, and I'm ready, I'm prepared. It's basically a flag. Now I'm hearing actually from the Lion King, be prepared. So there is like an energy of being prepared. Someone's like, don't try me because I'm prepared. So someone could be saying that. Also, the color yellow, that is the solar plexus, which is our center, but also just our creative center. It is literally the birth portal of life. Think of the umbilical cord. It is your connection to your vitality. So a lot of the times when people have basically, and also our gut is our oldest brain. So when people have any health issues, it's usually from a loss of power. So someone here who is going through any sort of health issue, however that manifests within you and yours, know that the generalized root of it on a somatic, energetic level is that there is a loss of power here. So someone needs to go through a deep power retrieval. Also, bears are coming through really strongly as a spirit animal for this time. I think of like mama bear. Bears are very protective. But the other thing with bears is that they hibernate. And when they hibernate, they actually fast. Like, legit. They don't go to the bathroom, which is kind of crazy, for up to 100 days. That's wild. And someone here might actually need to like implement some sort of hibernation and fasting. So someone here could need to sleep more and also fast more. Someone could be going through this, or someone is trying to do a lot so they're not able to fast. And spirit is like, you really need to fast when you can set aside time to also hibernate. Something is coming through with that. Now, every time I saw the Gadsden flag, which I saw it multiple times this week, you guys, I saw it on two different houses, like their front lawn. I saw it on a car driving, and I was like, what is this thing? So I looked it up on like Google Images, because it didn't say the Gadsden. It says there's like a certain saying. It's like, don't tread on me. Okay, yeah, don't tread on me. So someone here could also feel like, oh, you tread on me, you did that on me, like you over a wrong one. Like, someone here thought you were a lamb, but like you zip yourself out, jokes on them. You're actually like the more ferocious lion than they are, and they're just like a little hyena trying to be a lion. It's like that kind of energy. So yeah, don't tread on someone. Or someone is out here saying, don't tread on me. Also, treading water. Someone can feel like they're treading water. They're just like barely surviving. I'm hearing hanging by a thread, hanging by a moment. I'm falling even more in love with you, holding on what I've held on to. I don't know. Hanging by a moment here with you. So maybe go check out that song, Hanging by a Moment, because now I'm just channeling. Okay, this will turn not into a all signs reading and just be a collective reading where I'm just going to start channeling if I do that. So getting into Capricorn, Capricorn. Whew, it's so heavy. The ants go marching in. What's the marching song with the ants? Go look up the lyrics to that song. That's like I was going to say an old wives' tale. What is it? The ants go marching down. The ants go marching. Something about the ants are marching. I don't know. There's like assembly line going on here. Someone doing one thing after another. Something is a well-oiled machine, Capricorn. You need to get something running like a well-oiled machine. You need to get an oil change, something here quite literally with oil. Maybe even use a different cooking oil. I'm all about ghee and butter, so there's that. Some of my Capricorns, what else is new? You need more rest. And I was just talking about that at the beginning of the reading. So for some of my Capricorns, that is coming through strong. Capricorn, waiting is not in vain. However, sometimes God makes us wait longer because we weren't actually sitting and waiting in our waiting period. We were distracting ourselves. And so if you distract yourself, that literally means, let's break down the semantics because I love semantics. Traction is togetherness. Distraction is the opposite of togetherness, it's separation. It's also pulling one off of their path. When you have traction, you know, think of like a railroad. Think of a train on a railroad. It has traction, okay? Now when it goes off the rails, so Capricorn, be cautious you do not go off the rails. Maybe you already have gone off the rails. Maybe someone is trying to say you're going off the rails. You've gone off the rails. There's definitely, now I'm hearing the don't tread on me. I'm hearing tread lightly because there is a Capricorn that is on the precipice of perhaps going off the rails here. So my Capricorns, something definitely needs to end. I mean, this is just hilarious. It's not, but it is. This is like someone being in a long-term relationship, but no one knows about that relationship, and or someone being in multiple long-term relationships, and there are people that know about this person, people that know about this person. So you have your people that you hang out with when you're with this person, you have your people you hang out with when you're with this person. And like if your parents are separated, then it's like your mom sees you with this person, but your dad sees you with this person. There's like a lot of that going on. There's also, you do have close friends who know that you're hanging out with multiple people. And it's like you have these two people that you're acting like you're in a relationship with, or one you're in a relationship with, and one is like proud side. I mean, this is for a very specific Capricorn, but I mean, it's strong how the energy has come out because we have two queens, we have the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles in the reverse of the Death card. If you know anything about the cards, well, first of all, that's dealing with two different women going slow about being with them because someone here doesn't want to make a decision because they are being devilishly selfish. And it has to end, Death with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse, because it's first of all, you're acting out of integrity. So this has to do with the treading, don't tread on me, treading lightly, going off the rails. Capricorn, there's a Capricorn here that's definitely already gone off the rails. And if you are someone who you're like, nah, Valerie, I've not cheated on my partner, I'm good, this, that, and the third. Okay, well then there's a vice with the Devil and the Death card that is getting in between you and your partner, that is making it more difficult for you guys to emotionally connect. It's making it more difficult for you to get more finances. It's making it difficult for you to get more money, for them to get more money. Like, there's something toxic in your life that is a third-party energy. It doesn't have to physically be a person. It can be a substance. It can be playing too many video games. It can be food. It can be corn. And corn with a P. I just have to say that so they don't like whatever this. So, Capricorn. You got to get yourself, you got to get those vices in check. Also, what are you trying to numb out? Like, why are you going to a vice in the first place? Like, when someone is lit on and they are on fire for what they love, then they want to do that thing all the time. They're not trying to escape it. So for some of my Capricorns, you need to break God or you. If you don't do it, God will do it. Break down your life to a foundational level so that you aren't working to, I don't know, live a life that you're trying to constantly escape from. Because there is a lot of escapism here. There's a lot of like not living in your truth, and there's a lot of when will things change? When will it get better? When will this happen? And it's like, it'll happen when you change. It will happen when you make the difference. It will happen when you do that. And until you change these things, until you show God that you're serious and you're not going to partake in that toxic substance anymore, or that toxic habit anymore, or cheat a little, or just not commit and just be the field player, you're not going to have changes in your life. So if your life is stagnant, it's because there is something going on in your life that is not of upright integrity with your heart and with your highest self. And that is what we are stepping into with consciousness. You can't just get away with living poorly anymore. It's just not, God's not going to allow it. So, okay, Aquarius. Right off the bat, Aquarius, you already have the player energy, especially with the Knight of Wands. Oh my gosh. So you could also be a Capricorn in Vedic sidereal. Yeah, Aquarius, there is a lot of commotion I'm hearing the motion of the ocean is causing a lot of commotion, especially that Knight of Wands energy. Someone here needs to go to the doctor, and because I wanted to speak in an English British accent, I don't know, someone here could be dealing with someone in the UK, or could have got something in the UK. I don't like that energy. Someone could like dealing with people, just different accents. Someone here is like a different area code, different girl or guy for every area code, which is incredibly dangerous, especially for your health. I'm sorry, I just read what shows up. But yeah, there's an Aquarius here who's going to have to heal from something, and they also like want to lie about what they have to heal from. For some of my Aquarians, there is a rite of age, coming of age, rites of passage, coming of age and rites of passage. I think it's those paired like that. Your destiny here is at a distance. So for some of my Aquarians, your prosperity lies on different lands. You are meant to, if you're not married, you're meant to marry someone of a different culture in a different country. I see you even learning to another language, at least speaking 2 languages. Some of my Aquarians, you could even speak up to 8 languages. That might be for like 1 or 2 of you, but it's here. One of you guys may even want to consider being a translator, because it would be like you would do very well at that. And even though it would be a lot of work, it's like some part of you intrinsically is already good at that. It's kind of like, you guys, I got my harp after a traumatic brain injury and having a really bad car accident. And I never played instruments growing up, never read music growing up, like nothing, absolutely nothing. First time I played an instrument, okay, was my harp at like 29. So like a few years ago. And I read advanced sheet music, I improvise, I love that thing. Sure, I'm not like the greatest on it. I've only been playing a couple of years, but I can read music like fluently and easily. And when people are like, what, only a couple of years? I'm like, yeah, but I can tell in my soul and my body, like when I sit down and play and read, like it's not even like me reading or my hands, it's something else channeling through me, and it just like does it. And when you see really good dancers, really good musicians, really like people who are good at their craft, that's exactly what it is. It's like God ordained that person to do that thing. And so for some of my Aquarians, there's something that God has ordained you to do that perhaps you have been doing something else because that other thing is your breadwinner. And you're like, well, if I do this new thing, I'm going to have to start as a page. Pages are students first. I'm going to have to learn all these things. I'm going to get less pay from it. You know, you could be at like a 6 of Pentacles level 7 of Pentacles level, but you're not at that 10. You're not even at the 8, the 9, or the 10. You're in like this midsection, and you're like, how do I crawl out of this? It's like crabs in a barrel. And God is like, you don't crawl out of it. You actually take yourself down quite a few notches, humble yourself, get right with what you came here to do, with what I put you on this planet to do, the Lovers with the Wheel of Fortune. 2 very strong major arcana here. You sit your butt down, you connect to your heart, what feels right, what you're actually passionate about, and you start learning and you move on this, and you take 10 steps towards me and I'll give you 100 ways to it. Like it's like that. So for some of my Aquarians here, there is something that you need to pursue, but you have to water it. It's like, you can't just plant the seeds and then forget about it. Or you can't just be like, oh yeah, that's a pipe dream, this, that, and the third. Yeah, it's a dream because God put it in your heart at a young age and has you dream about it. This is like, before I ever did aerial arts, which for the millionth time, I have never been a stripper, and it pisses me off more than anything that people just immediately think pole dancing and stuff and go to that. Anywho, I used to have dreams of me constantly doing, which I still dream choreography, but like doing silks and doing stuff with the pole, like doing kind of like more Cirque du Soleil type things. And this was like before I did anything athletic. And then I became a yoga instructor. Then I started doing pole and lyra lessons, and I started learning different aerial arts and started becoming more athletic. And that was all in the last 5 years too. So that's been like in my late 20s into my 30s. So there's an Aquarian here who you dream of yourself doing something, but you never pursue that thing because you tell yourself you're too old, you missed the boat, it's not going to amount to anything. Like you talk yourself out of it. And it's like God is going to plateau things, kind of like the Capricorn reading. Something is plateaued in your life, Aquarius, until you actually connect to the heart of what you're meant to do. And now I'm hearing the song, I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. So for some of my Aquarians, you do need to connect back to source. You need to connect back to God, especially with temperance here. And I'm hearing tempa, like a tisking with the temper. So someone here could also need to get their temper under control. They need to temper something. It can also be tempering your finances. Some of my Aquarians can be spending or splurging a little too much, and Spirit is going to make sure that you get by, but Spirit could also kind of like scare you a little bit to kind of humble you and make you connect back to what's really important. Because again, for some of my Aquarians, kind of like Capricorn, you're like coasting and you're like playing the game of life, but you're not really living it from your heart. You're not like really feeling it. Like, I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my bones. Love is all around me. Okay, so Love Actually is all around. Maybe it's just called Love Actually. Really good movie. It's around Christmas time, so someone here could have memories of Christmas or something about Christmas. Now I'm hearing snow, like the party kind. Aquarius, get your nose out of that. Get your nose out of that stuff. Maybe that's what you need to stop. Love Actually is all around. So a lot of my Aquarians, there is something here about reconnecting to that. Yeah, I definitely called someone out. I just think it's really funny that there are people that are full of themselves enough to think that what they've done in private was done in private and that it wasn't seen. Or that people who see and hear in prophecy didn't see it on top of God seeing it. Because it's like, that's what people need to realize. When people think that they're like hiding something, they think that they're like sneaking. They're like, oh, there's not a camera here. It's in my house, this, that, and the third. You do realize that there are way more people than me that are psychic like me, that prophecy, that see and hear what's going on. And not even that we like choose. It's like God sends that information, and also God's watching too. So it's like you think that you're doing something in private, but it was never in private. There's an Aquarian here who thinks that they're doing something in private, or that they have done something in private, and they have not. I mean, it's not private at all. There are always, you guys, just like trees connect under the ground through the tree root system, humans and consciousness connects that way too. And that's why it's like a highway. So when you do something, you literally throw that energy of what you're doing. Your actions create a ripple effect into the collective. And people who are of higher consciousness, and anyone can once they go through that process, but it is a grueling process. I heard another reader talking about this earlier. They were like, someone here, they were just speaking a collective reading, and they were like, someone here is jealous of your life. They want to have your life. And God is laughing, and he's saying, all right, you're going to live it, but you may not make it through. Like, someone really may not make it through, because the tumultuousness and the treachery that you have to go through to actually elevate through the system. I've died a million times. When people want to be weird or whatever about, I don't know, like thinking a life looks glamorous, it's like, you probably wouldn't have made it through all the times that I died in the hospital. Like, you probably wouldn't have made it through the abuse that I've lived through. Like, people don't understand what people have to go through to elevate states in consciousness. And it's also not something that is taken lightly. And it's also something that I don't want to go down that path. Okay, yeah, that's true though. Aquarius, like, there's something here about abuse of power. And that's the issue. It's like someone thinks that they're getting away with something and they are abusing their power in doing that. And so, yeah. And someone here also could have abused their power in a way that someone else is no longer walking around. And it's because someone abused their power and they thought that they got away with it and they didn't get away with it. Okay. That is definitely for a very specific niche person. Okay, moving on to Pisces. Sorry, Aquarius, that was a little darker, but I have zero control of what comes through, so I'm just dipping into that collective energy. Pisces, Pisces, what is going on for Pisces? Justice. Oh my gosh. Law and order. Order in the court, Pisces. Let's talk about it. You could be getting some fabulous news. If you are in any litigations, any sort of court, any sort of case, you won. Congratulations. If you're fighting against a boss, a bully, you won. Congratulations. You may not hear, you could be against a Taurus or a Libra as well, or you could have Taurus and Libra also in your chart. You could also receive this news in Taurus season, which would be mid-end of April throughout the month of May. You could also be entering a new work contract or a new love contract if you are single. You could be meeting the person that God wants you to marry, which, you know, some people are like, yeah, that's exciting. And other people are like, you know, it's like a whole different level of learning yourself when you are in a relationship with another. A whole new host of, I don't want to say issues, but challenges and things to navigate. So Pisces, you have balanced out karma, living one way of life, and you're now going to experience another. So if you already are married, but you've been having like difficulty conceiving, then you could conceive during this time, and that is like your gift. That is your new contract, is a new bae. Also could be a new animal, a new pet, a new responsibility. Could also be a new home for some of my Pisces. Definitely some people here are going to be, I heard concerned, but what I saw is like shock. So there is like a shock factor. I'm hearing ShamWow. Okay, so maybe something about Shamu. ShamWows are like those terry cloth, I don't know, maybe terry cloth sweatsuits, but the terry cloth things to wash their car at the car wash. Okay, so my Pisces, go wash your car, or you're gonna go wash your car, or you like washing your car, something here about washing the car. Also something about ShamWow, killer whales. They're in pods. Pisces, someone was caught in a dead-faced lie, and it definitely looks like an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini about you. And they're just like, they feel so stuck, like, oops, I didn't really mean it like that. It's like someone slandering you, throwing you under the bus, saying that you do X, Y, and Z, and the court being like, actually, there is zero evidence of this person doing that, and we have ruled in their favor, and there's zero evidence of any of your false claims. And they're like, oh, well, I thought that I saw, do you have proof? No, but the way that, like, someone here really threw someone under the bus. Like, really. But it's coming out. It's coming out. So, and this could have been, like, something years ago as well. Like, this can also be something that's been going on for a while. But, what someone thought was hidden is not hidden and is coming to the light, Pisces. So there's that. Also, someone here wants to reconnect with you. Could be a Capricorn. Also could just be some toxic person from your past who like doesn't know you anymore. I'm hearing, there could also be a choice because we do have choices here. You could have someone from the past and then you could have someone new. Now this someone new, I'm hearing, I think it's Aaliyah. The song, You Don't Know My Name. She sings, like, I'm watching you, like your smile, this, that, and the third, but you don't know my name. So someone here could be admiring another person, but they're like, they're untouchable, they're unreachable, and they don't know my name. And they could actually get messaged or hit up by that exact person. So be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it, Pisces. That's exciting. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Barracuda. Okay, that's Lucy Liu and Charlie's Angels. That song, Ooh Barracuda. I don't know, maybe go listen to it. Also in that scene, she's like in a black leather like cat suit with her like whip, kind of like dominatrix style, and she's like strutting down, like telling people what to do. Now I want to go watch that movie. I don't even watch movies. Okay. Aries, you are also going to have options. Options. Dun-dun-dun. Okay, that hippie sabotage song, Options. Don't sabotage something, and don't be a hippie. I don't know, or be a hippie, or someone here is a hippie. Also hip hop, hippity hop. Someone here could like old school hip hop, the old bops. I need some bop in it, some Lil Baby. That's not old, but obviously. Aries, all work and no play makes someone a boring or a sad person. There's something here of like, you need to play more. It's almost like you need to schedule play. And you're like, no, but I like what I do. So I just work, and then I sleep. I can resonate with that a lot. Okay, but seriously, there is something here about like working, and then working some more. And then like maybe sleeping 4 hours. And it's like, so many people can, you know, like, I mean, obviously it's not healthy to do that long term. However, if we actually look at the facts, Aries, I will back you up on this. Historically speaking, some of the best presidents, the best spiritual gurus, the best religious and political leaders only sleep 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. It's true. It's true. Go look it up. Go look it up. Some of the smartest people in the world, some of the biggest, greatest inventors, a lot of the billionaires, a lot of people on the billionaire list sleep 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. So when people are like, how do you have the time to do X, Y, and Z? A lot of the time when you wonder how someone has the time to do that thing, it's because they're sleeping 4 to 5, maybe 6 hours a night. And they're actually capitalizing on the other hours of that day. Aries, you are being told to schedule in some more sleep. Also, for some of my Aries, you could be turning your back on a situation. You could also be turning your back on your insecurities. I'm changing my sorrows. I'm laying them down for the joy of the Lord. I think that song is just Yes, Lord. But what I was hearing is I'm trading my sorrows. So for some of my Aries, you can be like sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sick and tired of keeping to yourself. Sick and tired of the same old routine. Sick and tired of where you're at. You're getting like the zoomies. No, you're getting, what is it? Hay fever? House fever? Whatever it's called when you want to leave the house. You've been in the house too long. You need to leave the house. You need to go make friends. You need to go travel. You need to go see the world. Have some experiences. Literally, we have 4 cards of travel here. So for some of my Aries, you are definitely traveling. You could also be waiting to travel. You're waiting for this opportunity and it's just around the corner, but someone keeps blocking the dang thing. It's like you were supposed to get it in March, you're supposed to get it in April, and it looks like it's finally coming through in May or in Taurus season, so it could technically still come in the end of April. But someone here is trying their darndest to keep it from you. Now, people don't try and keep things from people if it's not something good, if it's not something important, if it doesn't matter, right? So clearly this thing matters, and clearly you matter, because if you didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying to keep something from you. So Aries, if people are trying to keep things from you, keep people from you, keep connections from you, keep you from others, it means you got something good, because they wouldn't try and keep you, they wouldn't play keep away, period, if that wasn't the case. So some people here are playing keep away because what you got is just too good. It's too good. They don't want people to have it, but like they're not going to have it either. It's like, I'm not going to have it, but I don't want anyone else to have it. Like what? Riddle, that makes no sense. Literally makes no sense. So it's okay. You're getting new love, new baby, new job, new emotional fulfillment. You're definitely traveling and or moving, and delayed is not denied. And it's funny because someone here, this is like, it's giving the story of Joseph, which you could be dealing with a Gemini, or something could be happening in June, because I talk about this in Gemini's reading. Gemini's brothers. Joseph's brothers betrayed him. They tried to they sold him as a slave. Then the master that he was sold to, his wife lied on him, was like, oh, he's trying to sleep with me, even though she was trying to sleep with him, and he kept denying her. So Aries people can be like saying that they've slept with you when they haven't at all in any way, shape, or form. There's probably a lot of that going on, actually. People are trying to say that they've done things, that think they know things have happened that haven't happened at all. And they're doing this to try and like someone away from you, which is disgusting. But it's like, it's not going to work, because in the end, it doesn't even matter. Okay, so Linkin Park, I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Don't be hopeless, because in the end, Joseph was then the ruler, and he ruled like all the kingdoms. And then he saved everyone from the 7 years of famine from his prophecy, and even saved his brothers who betrayed him, and he saved everyone who betrayed him. So someone here can, like the brothers, is like the brothers, like, heh heh, we snarked off Joseph, blah, 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 dad's favorite son, we this, that, and the third. And then that wife is like, ha ha, I was trying to sleep with you, but because you don't want to sleep with me, screw you, you're going to jail, this, that, and the third. And then in the end, Joseph doesn't even say, ha ha, screw you guys, I'm the leader now. I go from being Pharaoh's right-hand man to like being leader of the land. He goes, this was God's plan. And now I'm hearing God's plan by Drake. So literally, Aries, something is God's plan. And it's like, people think that they were getting one over on you, but it was God's plan all along. Because had Joseph not gone through everything that he went through, then he would not have had the prophecy to Pharaoh of 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine, and everyone in the lands would have died. It took all of that betrayal, all of those losses, though, for him to become Pharaoh's right-hand man and then become the ruler. So, Aries, there's something in that for you. Taurus, going to Taurus. Taurus, you have... Okay, for some of my Taurans, there is the end of a time. I'm hearing it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. What is that from? It's from an American classic, I believe. It's from a book, maybe Charles Dickens. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. I think that's also about the Great Depression, that book. It's something I read, I remember in like middle school or high school. For some of my Taurans, there could be something here, I don't know, going through a Great Depression. There can be difficulty. There can also be like, cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give it if I cut my arm. Okay, bleeding. I don't listen to that kind of music. I'm a slow R&B, like oldies R&B, like 70s, 80s R&B, some 90s R&B, very small amount of 2000s R&B, mostly 80s R&B. Yeah. There's a Taurus here. Please don't do that. Please don't cut your life into pieces. But if you feel like God is cutting your life into pieces, it's only so something can be rearranged, because there is a different path that he wants you to go down. There is a different experience that he's wanting you to have with someone. He is also wanting you to cultivate a different aspect of yourself that hasn't been cultivated and nourished yet. It's like you can be very well defined in a certain field, Taurus, and you can feel like who you are. I said, who do you think you are? You can have yourself very established in a certain field, and God is now trying to pull you in a different field. Okay, the example I'm going to give for this. I love him so much. Jeffree Star. He's a Scorpio, though, I believe. You can have Scorpio, although I will say Taurus is connected to Scorpio in Rahu, Ketu, and Vedic sidereal. He, you know, people know him for drag, makeup, etc., but he, which he still does, but he owns a yak ranch and does meat. He does yak meat, and he also has a sanctuary for yaks. So he has yaks that are like for farming and for food, and then yaks that are for pets, and he has this whole farm up in like, what is it, Minnesota or something? Not Minnesota, Montana, Wyoming? I think it's Wyoming. Yeah, Wyoming. Whole different life. He sold his like $21 million mansion for like a normal like 3-bed, 2-bath home in Wyoming. So for some of my Taurans, there can be like a huge lifestyle change like that for you. You are going from one way of life to a whole different way of life. And it can seem kind of weird at first. It can seem like no, or like you can be like, why is this happening to me? Like, why am I being pushed? Why is nothing working? And God is like, because you're not supposed to be in that direction. I'm trying to pull you this way. This can also be for my Taurans in relationship. Your relationship dynamic needs to change, or else the relationship might need to separate. Because you can evolve and grow together, but there is a part of a Tauran who's not changing and going through this process because they're like, well, it's not that easy to just like pack up and do this, that, and the third because my spouse and my spouse's job, and they're not going to change and they're not going to move and blah, 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 blah. So then you need to have like a serious sit down talk and be like, you know, God is calling me in this direction. I see this vision, and you need to talk about your visions, and you need to have a very clear and honest conversation. For my Taurans who are single, you could be single during this time because you are not living the life at all that you're gonna be living, that God is putting you into. And your style, your type is gonna change completely. So if you've been single, like me, for years, for a really long time, you're like, what the heck? It's because you're going through this metamorphosis, and God is like, the person that you're meant to be with, you still have to like elevate and keep working on yourself and keep chiseling away at yourself to even get to the arena where I'm going to have you meet that person. And it's okay. It's just like you have seasons that you're meant to work on yourself, and that you're meant to cultivate and tend to your own crops and not be in a relationship. And you need to honor that and love that and accept that, and not see it as something's wrong or that you're supposed to be dating and just wasting your time and distracting yourself, going back to that traction word. Just stay on the tracks and understand that if you are in a period of being single or isolated, it's because God is really working something within you, and he needs you to be safe, secure, and isolated and separate. Truly. We cannot have two of cups love with another until we really have it with ourselves. So for my Taurans in relationship, you almost need to relearn to, now I'm hearing, I don't even listen to this music. Is it Selena Gomez or Ariana Grande? I had to lose you to love me. I had to, yeah, it's something, I had to lose you to love me. So, I don't know, someone here can be feeling that, like they had to lose someone to learn how to love themselves, because they couldn't learn how to love themselves while occupying the other person's energy, space, and field. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know, there's not a more clear spread for this. Four of Wands is literally marriage in the home. Tower is a big upheaval and a huge change. The tower is either going to get burned down, or you can jump out of the tower, but it is being destroyed. It's already struck by lightning. It's already on fire. So you choose. Either jump out the window, or you go down burning with the fire. Sugar, we're going down swinging. I'll be your number one with a bullet. A loaded God complex. Cock it and pull it. We're going down, down. Okay, so my Taurans feel like you're going down. Two of Pentacles. Should I stay or should I go? Am I going to stay in this marriage? Am I going to stay in this house? Am I going to stay in this commitment? Or am I going to ask for divorce, separation, different job, different security, different home, break the lease, etc., etc.? It's literally, like, that's literally what that is. So, and this is divine timing. The Wheel of Fortune is God's wheel. It's no man. Now I'm hearing no man is an island. I think that's a Ben Harper. No man is an island. Either way, no human can change God's plan, and the Wheel of Fortune is God's plan, and it's things changing to adjust to his plan. So sometimes God will let things go a certain way for a while, you know, like Joseph being betrayed by his brothers, like I was talking about in the Aries and Pisces readings. His brothers thought that they were getting over on him. They thought that they were betraying him. They're like, yeah, we did so good, haha. Dad thinks he's dead, like all these things. Same with his slave owner, his wife. She's like, haha, Joseph wouldn't sleep with me, so I got him in jail, haha, I'm so good. And God is like, silly people, tricks are for kids. He's like, they think that he's like, I'm actually saving everyone's life. And Joseph is about to be Pharaoh's right-hand man because he's been faithful to me and I can trust him with this responsibility. And he is actually going to rule the lands and he's going to save everyone. So, for some of my Taurans, you could be dealing with a Pisces or an Aries, but there is that energy of someone feeling like they got one over on someone because they got away with something it's been years, so certainly they got away with it. Not, you didn't get away with anything. You didn't get away with anything. And someone thinks that they, like, again, did over, but God's like, no, I planned it that way. Again, just like Joseph, he had to be betrayed by his brothers. He had to also be betrayed by his slave owner's wife. He had to go through those. Literally, he had to, because that's how God set it up. So, Gemini. Walk around the club. Everybody can't sleep, everybody, da-da-da-da. Okay, Gemini, someone here is clubbing. Or they're just like partying a lot. Hey ma, what's up? I drink, I smoke, me too, okay, I don't know, we can get it on tonight. Hey Ma is coming through. Also the walk around the club, get your buddy, sleep, talk, get your buddy. So someone here, I'm in my own zone. I'm in my own zone. Gemini, you're in your own zone. Auto zone. So my Geminis need to get your car checked out. Check engine light or something could be coming on. I heard like a ping. That also could be low tire pressure. Don't you hate when you're like, you see the thing go up in your car and you're like, wait, is that tire pressure or is that my engine? I gotta know which one. I don't know. Something here, or like oil change. So Gemini, something about that. But you are in your own zone and you're just like, I don't know, you're living a little. I laugh in the dark, I laugh in the face of danger. So, Simba with the hyenas and the elephant graveyard. Yeah, there's like a Gemini here who knows that they're around a bunch of hyenas and they don't care. They're not phased. They're also like partying with them. And they also prefer the elephant graveyard than like hanging out with the lions. I don't know, there's a Gemini who prefers hanging out with the schmut, is what I'm hearing. And that's a kind of dark word, so. Yeah. Reading someone to filth here. I mean, Gemini, I'll keep you your dirty little secret. But yeah, I'm hearing that song. I'll keep you my dirty little secret. Don't tell anyone or you'll be just another reject. Okay, so someone here really is trying to keep something quiet. All pre-shuffle energy was keeping things quiet and contained. Four of Pentacles. That's not showing someone your cards. It's keeping things to yourself. It's being very, very like frugal and prudent on what you expose. Eight of Swords in your head, not wanting to even see the truth yourself. This is like not wanting to look in the mirror, not wanting to take accountability, not wanting to own up to something. High Priestess, secrets, keeping quiet about something. So, for some of my Geminis, you are, I'm hearing tickle your fancy. I don't know, something about tickling? Maybe you like tickling? Maybe that's like a fetish? Weird. Okay. Also something tickling your fancy. I don't know. I'm hearing like fancy feast. Maybe you have a cat. You feed your cat fancy feast. I feed my cat Origin. Tundra by Origin. It's like his favorite. It's like all raw, all animal stuff. Okay. Gemini, what are you keeping? Ooh. Ooh. Who did I say ooh barracuda for? I think it was Pisces. It may have been Aries. Gemini, you could be dealing with an Aries or a Pisces or Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. For my Geminis that live the party life, and I'm hearing don't want to be a player no more, which I know I've channeled before. So some of my Geminis are trading in that player card for a whole ass wife or a whole ass hubby. Definitely wanting to cultivate like building a home and having success in that, and this person could be at a distance or you could be like stressed. This could have even been someone that was like one of your hookups. Like if there's a Gemini who has a roster, there's like someone on the roster that doesn't live where you're at and none of the other girls on the roster compare to that one girl. And so you want to be with her, but it's frustrating because she's like at a distance. Then go get her. Like go get her. Go get him, Tiger. I don't know, something about Tiger. Okay, I'm hearing Tiger Woods. I haven't heard that name in a while. I also know nothing about golf. So, I don't know, maybe Tiger in the Woods. Maybe something about golf. Weather's getting nice. Maybe you could be golfing. Maybe this person hangs out by a golf course or they go around or by a golf course. Definitely so many options. And also there's a Gemini here who's kind of like dedicated to keeping their, I don't want to say keeping their mind foggy so that they don't have to really think about the more imminent questions of life. But yeah, more or less. And God has a way of setting things like in front of you or this person where you constantly think of them or they constantly think of you. 'Cause I'm dreaming of you tonight till tomorrow and for all of my life. The only in the world I'd rather be. Yeah, it might be a Queen of Wands energy that you see she work hard. All that money, the money is the motive. Is that The Weeknd? Girl, put in work. Girl, put in work. Yeah, you see someone. I got my eye on you. You have your eyes on someone. This Queen of Wands. Very strong fire and earth energy. But it's like the people don't want you to be with this person. You feel like people are fighting over you and or fighting over them or fighting over both of you. You feel like you have to claw through the crowd to get to them. The claw. I'm actually seeing like, we had a place that was like Perfect Swing, but it's like Celebration Station, things like that. The claw going in, and it's like, it never grabs the stuffed animal. It like grabs nothing. It makes you wonder, like, do those machines even work? Like, do they ever actually grab the thing? Because it's like, you keep putting quarters in, but it never grabs the stuffed animal. I don't know, there's something here. Someone can feel like they keep putting quarters in, they're not getting something out. Someone can feel like they keep investing in someone, and they're just not getting what they want out of it. You know what I mean? I don't know. But maybe it's because you're not meant to invest there. So God is like, nah, you can't have that because you're not meant to invest there. Some of my Geminis, definitely something here with the car, with the vehicle. New car, very noisy. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, definitely something here with getting a new car. Keeping things to yourself. Keep it to yourself. If you think that you still love me, put it on a shelf. If you're looking for someone, try someone else. I don't know. When you're missing me like hell, keep it to yourself. Ooh. Gemini, you could be thinking that to someone, or someone could be thinking that to you. This could also be like that person at a distance. You wonder, you're like scared. You're like, but what if I reach out to them and they're not, like someone here is scared of being rejected. They just like don't want to be rejected and they just don't know. So they're like trying to check the temperature of a connection here. Okay, after Gemini is Cancer. Cancer. Which way did he go? Which way should I go? Anywhere you go, I go. Anywhere I go, you go. What song is that? Well, there could be some codependency here. Anywhere you go, I go. Anywhere I go, you go. Two peas in a pod. You could be your dream team. Now I'm hearing we have Dasher and Prancer and Dancer and Vixen, Connor and Cupid and da-da-da-da-da. Rudolph, so that's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Rudolph being the weird one out, the oddball out. Odd Kid Out, Used to You, was a song I just channeled in my last, I believe my last collective message, or maybe it was the end of the Chosen One message. That song, I want to dive right in, spend all my time with you. So definitely I'm speaking to a Cancer who, if you are in a relationship, you and your person are like glued at the hip. You're like Bonnie and Clyde. You're like always together. You could really get used to this. You really like this. If you aren't in this, then this is what's destined for you. It also makes sense because in Nakshatras, Cancer is Aslesha, and Aslesha Nakshatra is the serpent that binds and coils and wraps themselves around their lover, their prey, whatever is in front of them. So Cancers can be very possessive, highly possessive, and very crabby if they feel like anything is infiltrating on what is theirs. So there's a Cancer here who can be very possessive, but is also like, it's giving dream team power couple vibes. This was coming through actually a couple weeks ago. Cancer had a really, really great reading. Interesting. All of my cards are upright, but the King of Swords was in the reverse. So Cancer, you could be dealing with an air sign who's not telling you something. You've got something kind of funny going on. You got... Okay, so someone here could have something kind of funny going on. That's Spice Girls. You've got something kind of funny going on. You could also be dealing with a Leo. Yeah, we have definitely a Cancer here who is wanting to spy. I spy with my little eye. That song by Kyle, I Spy. Go check it out. Could be looking at an Aries because the Fool and the Queen of Wands is Aries energy here. There is a Cancer who sees this Aries as their wish fulfillment. They see this as someone that, a girl worth fighting for. What is that? Mulan. What do we want? A girl worth fighting for. Whenever they're like walking and talking and singing about all the different things that they would want, she would cook me this and do this. So there could be a Cancer who's like talking with his buddies and he's like the only one not married or you know, single girl, the only one not married, and they're like talking with their friends about like what they want or what they don't want. I don't know. Someone here is definitely talking with like a group about their dream person. And it's like, that's good because you're actually manifesting that person, calling them into existence. And if you know of that person, there's going to be, where there's a will, there's a way. I saw like the path cleared. I saw like Moses actually parting the sea. So God could quite literally be like parting the sea so that you and someone can have this destined meeting. And it could be travel. It could be doing something on a whim. It could be like a take off on a little trip, check out little weekend getaway. Some of my Cancers are definitely ending something with someone so that they can start a new beginning with someone else. They can be quiet about this too. Right now they're just in their research phase, trying to decide. Now for some of my Cancers, there could be loss or heartbreak in someone's life. Like this is for family members. It's like one family, because the wheel's always moving, you know, sometimes we're doing well in life, sometimes we're not doing so well. So this can be a Cancer who it's like, take this wherever you're at. You or this other family member is in a really happy marriage. Everything is great. It's like you just got a new house, you just got this marriage. It's like so many things, so many blessings. You want to celebrate, right? But then you have another family member who just got like a bad health diagnosis. They just lost a child or a pet or a job. And it's like things are really rough. And previously, it was always the exact opposite. Previously, it was always like the other person that was always like single and alone and just kind of wandering through life. And then the other person was like really stable or like really healthy or like kind of in their prime. People, you know, they say wisdom comes with age, but it's really with experience. And our experiences really shape us and make us, and sometimes even completely stop us in our tracks of our path, of our divine destiny. And someone here is in heartbreak and they are shut down and they just need to rest and heal. And it can be really hard for this person to watch this other person in their strength, living their best life, seemingly getting everything they want, even though they've worked really hard for it. Because the Eight of Pentacles is you get in what you get out. So if this person looks like they're having such an easy, great, wonderful life, oh my gosh, this, that, and the third, it's because they earned it, bish. They earned it. And it's also their time. Because they also have gone through a time of heartache, loss, suffering, of being at the bottom of the wheel. So something here, I'm hearing Jesus take the wheel. And that's what's happening. Is someone here used to relish in kind of making fun or being like, oh, that poor so-and-so. But it's like tables have turned. Those who are at the bottom are now at the top, and those who will be first, those who were first will be last, and those who were last will be first. All right, after Cancer is Leo. I've been talking, doing readings all day, and I can hear my voice like starting. I never feel like my voice goes out until I literally talk and do readings for like 16 hours straight with like a 2-hour workout break. So like 14 hours. But I love reading. So, okay. Leo, you are either going to be in the limelight. You could go viral if you have anything online. You could also meet someone when you wish upon a star. Spirit is wanting you to wish upon a star. You could be meeting an Aquarius or someone who has strong Aquarius placements, or you could have strong Aquarius placements. You also could be experiencing some deep healing with someone, with a relationship, also with yourself. So it's like your inner, you know, we all have masculine and feminine energetics. So the left side of every body is feminine. The right side of every body is masculine. This is purely energetics, like yin and yang, water and fire. As you heal your own inner feminine, how you interact with women will change. And this goes, it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. Doesn't matter what's between your legs. Doesn't matter what you are. When you change the feminine side of the body, the ability to receive, to rest, to relax, to play, to enjoy pleasure and bliss, when you tap into that and you heal that, then your connections change. Same with the masculine. When you start taking accountability, when you are able to set a set schedule, when you're able to have discipline, when you're able to accept responsibility, you're able to pursue, you're able to initiate and activate and jump on something, jump on it, that actually make it, go after something, then your relationship with men change. You're no longer going to be offended or off-put or take things wrong from a man. Just like same with women. You're not going to be like, she's like, that's so, for example, if a woman is not healed within her feminine, then if she is out at a restaurant and she sees a woman eating food and the woman's like, so good, she's going to look at that woman and be like, oh my gosh, she's like having an orgasm while she's eating blah, blah, blah. Like she's going to mock it. Whereas a woman who's healed within her feminine will be like, that is actually really healthy and scientifically correct, and I could actually learn something and take something from that. Maybe I should try moaning when I eat my food and like try that on and allow myself to experience the pleasure of all the flavors, the pleasure of nourishing my body, of knowing that I am what I eat. So I'm going to bless my food. I'm going to experience pleasure and just so good. I'm going to savor the flavors. Because if you are like me, a generator, so know your human design, or a manifester, then how you feel about what you're putting into your body is everything. And we make sound, because sound is vibration through our spine, when we experience pleasure. So my Leos, you need to kind of activate that. You need to activate your sound, your vocal cords. Perhaps you're meant to be a singer. You're meant to use your voice. But there is something here about, like, at the very beginning, I was talking about solar plexus and power loss. That when people experience certain health issues, it's because of a loss of power. And there is a very strong Leo here who's experiencing loss of power pertaining to their voice and pleasure. So there's someone here who kind of needs to do like pleasure mapping, go through and experience like anytime you felt guilt or shame, or you've had like negative experiences with things that were supposed to be pleasurable, things like that, like to reclaim your power. And it's going to be work. But girl, put in work, girl, put in work. I sing that. I want to say in Taurus's reading. Maybe Aries. I think it was actually Aries. You could be dealing with an Aries or a Taurus. Yeah, there is definitely something. It's like someone's making you work for it, but nothing worth having ever came easy, Leo. Someone's really making you work for it. But it's also because they see, I hate this, but it is true. They see who you can become, or you see who they can become. So if someone's making you work hard for something, or you're making someone work hard for something, it's usually because you're like, I like where this is going, but I want to see if you keep evolving, or if you're like comfortable just being stagnant here. See, I agree with don't date someone who you see that they can be. Date who they are today. I agree with that. However, some people work towards evolution every day. And other people are happy just being stagnant and presenting themselves like they're all this in a bag of chips and that they're so great. But if you really watch that person for a whole year, you're like, man, it's been a year and that person hasn't changed. They not read a single book. They haven't changed their fitness. They haven't changed their health. Why is only a minute 54 remaining? This is crazy. Did they shorten these? Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to do a different video for Virgo through Sagittarius. I guess they have now shortened these. Okay, Leo, there is something here also about listening to your heart. It's like there's something that's been dormant in your heart for a while, and it is connected to your money. And I have to be honest, for some of my Leos, I mean, the 10 of Pentacles just flew out in the reverse with the 9 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles would be marriage or a home situation. 9 of Pentacles is being single and on your own, also thriving. So someone can be going from a family unit to being separated or divorced here. All right, I'm going to start a new live to finish.